Welcome back to more Minecraft Bingo Origin Story with Brian. And we're now on episode 5. This is a new play session for Brian. This episode is actually being recorded the day after the previous 4 episodes. And yeah, I felt like I had been playing for a while and talking for a long time, but there's a little timer up in the upper right-hand corner, and I hadn't really worked out the math, and I was like, okay, I probably recorded a couple of episodes, and I go back and I take a look, hey, here's another village, that's great. And yeah, we're almost up to 2 hours of game time at this point. I knew that finding a jungle was going to be a dodgy proposition because there's so many biomes in Minecraft right now that I was going to have to get really lucky, and if I didn't get lucky, it was going to stretch it out, but here we are. In any case, this has been good because I'm enjoying just talking about the origins of the map, and there's still more yet to talk about. And so let's first check out this village, and then we'll get back to more story time. And it doesn't appear that there is a blacksmith here in this particular village, and I'm not going to stand around to talk to the villagers to work out trades. And so we will just continue heading to the west in hopes that we find either a dungeon on the surface or another structure on the surface that gives us things that we need, such as a desert temple or a ravine that looks down into an abandoned mine shaft, or finally find the jungle, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to get the cocoa beans, because as you'll recall, the cookie is the main sticking point. Although some of the other items that remain are also a little bit tough, but I have some confidence that I'll be able to get them. So, picking up on talking about kind of like the creation of the map, I've gotten through most of the points at this point. We're up to the point to where I had a lot of the map worked out and thought it was in pretty good shape, and so was doing some play testing with some serious folks, and indeed went ahead and got an episode recorded with Kurt J. Mac, and we actually had to try recording and re-recording that episode a few times in order to have things work out. The server crashed on either 1 or 2 of the episodes that we tried to record. Fortunately, pretty early on, and so we didn't lose that much time. We are, of course, the map was made for Snapshot 14 Week 11B, which is still what I'm playing on now because this has been the latest stable snapshot for a while. But snapshots are always less stable than the real game itself, and so there are a variety of minor performance problems as well as reliability problems in the snapshot as far as I can tell. But for the most part, it's been okay, but it definitely had some problems with that hampered us a little bit. But Kurt and I, when we finally did record a successful episode, I think it took us like 45 minutes, and I had originally designed the map, and when I was trying to make the map, like the criteria I was going with is a fun game that you could fit into an episode, because it's kind of designed for, I don't know, my own style of gameplay, which is kind of like YouTuber Minecraft speedrunning kind of gameplay, and it's always fun when you can have an episode that lasts, I don't know, like 25 to 30 minutes, I feel like is kind of ideal for an episode. I have a variety of series that work on different lengths, but for a Minecraft speed challenge kind of thing, like Etho's always done kind of like 30 minutes is a good time for a speed challenge. And yes, that's kind of the time I was aiming for in terms of designing the map. When Kurt and I played, it ended up being like 45 minutes, and I thought it was just kind of bad luck, because in a number of my own play tests and some of the tests I'd done with other folks, I'd gotten some much quicker times. But then I did some play testing with Generic B, and yeah, that one also ran a long time, and he suggested like making it even quicker, like aiming for 20 minutes or giving starting items or different types of things that one could do to shorten things even further in terms of the time it takes to complete the map. And so I really took that advice to heart. And so I went and took a look at the map, and the balancing of a bingo map is actually non-trivial, is a word that I like to use in my vocabulary a lot. All right, you know what? The sun is going down. Since we are trying to explore the overworld, to travel as fast as possible, we'll do what we've been doing lately, which is sleeping in a bed in order to sleep away the night. Because really at this point, the jungle is the main sticking point, and we may have to travel for a few more Minecraft days. I'm still heading west, right? Yes. If we continue heading west, then we are assured that we're not going in a circle and wasting time. And meanwhile, I have the most pork chops, and so rather than kill cows, let's just continue to kill pigs if I want to make sure that I'm not going to run out of food, so that those items stack. Because I'm sure I have a number of items that I could throw away, but inventory management becomes a bit of a problem as my inventory gets cluttered with all the things, and I would really like to have the water bucket on the bar, just in case I somehow make a serious error with a surface lava pool. I always feel more comfortable when I've got the bucket of water on the hot bar, ready to go. So yeah, with some playtesting with Generic B, yeah, times were kind of like closer to like 40 and 45 minutes. And he suggested even kind of like I was thinking 25 and 30 minutes would be ideal. And he was thinking about pushing it even closer to 20 minutes. He thought more YouTubers would be more likely to play the game and kind of replay the game and have fun with it that way. And so I took that advice to heart and I took a look at the map. And balancing a bingo map, you have to be very careful about it because small changes can actually have profound impacts in terms of the speed of the game. And I mentioned that in the previous Minecraft Bingo, in the Minecraft Bingo beta that I made, 6 months ago or whenever it was, all the rows and columns were designed to be pretty hard because it was just a fixed bingo card, and so in order to have any replay value, I had to make sure there wasn't any particular easy row. Nevertheless, there was one diagonal on that board that was easier than the rest, and so it really made it likely that if you were studying the bingo card and really going for the best time, whoa, my frame rate just dropped for a moment there. Go Minecraft terrain generator. So, what was I saying? Right. And so basically, if you end up with one row or column that's particularly easy, it really makes the entire card easy if people are, playing with any strategy and notice these things. This is actually, I like this flower forest, and then look at this. Is this another, yeah, Savannah Hills M Extreme, whatever it's called? That is some amazing terrain. I may have mentioned it before already in this little mini-series, but one of the things that I really enjoy about playing Minecraft Bingo is the fact that it does encourage you to explore the overworld. And when you do explore the overworld, you run into amazing things like this. And I'm going to take a screenshot and do the coordinates in case anyone ever wants to return to this spot. I think that just looks amazing. So I'm going to do a screenshot. Oops, took multiple screenshots. There's the coordinates on the screen. If anyone wants to come and visit, if you've downloaded the map, you could just teleport to these coordinates. The world seed, is in there or whatever. And so it's always the same world seed. That's something that some people, I guess, didn't realize or didn't understand. It's just the same world seed every time, but the fact that it spreads you randomly within a 200,000 block radius or whatever it is means that, every type of terrain imaginable. Man, that really looks cool. Every type of terrain imaginable pretty much is in the world. The world is large enough, and I feel like on the scale, kind of all Minecraft seeds are created equal. That's amazing. After this playthrough, I might go back here in creative and just fly around at that location. But for now, we're going to continue to head west and hope that we eventually find a jungle biome. And I really should have, between yesterday when I recorded before and today, learned more about which biomes are next to which other biomes, so that I would know if there's a certain direction I could head that would make me more likely to find the jungle. Getting some frame rate issues here again. Might have to cycle the recording in a minute. So in any case, balancing the bingo board. Hello, chicken. Goodbye, chicken. He seemed eager to say hello, and so I greeted him in my own special way. With an iron sword. Iron sword to your face! Let's see. Alright, the portion of the savanna looks flat. We've got another roofed forest over there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I can run down here, no problem. So yeah, balancing the bingo card, you have to be careful that you don't make things too easy in one direction and too hard in others. Okay, is there any abandoned mine shaft visible down in here? I don't see one. Let's take a look on the other side, because that would be a good place to get all the other items that we don't have other than the cookie. Yeah, I don't see one. Oh, wait. I think I do see one. Hold on. I think there might be wood there. I can't tell for sure. Let me get a little bit more light shining down onto the situation. Oh, actually, I think that was granite. Let me go take a look. Let's take a look from this side. Do. I've talked about this many times before. My screen is not very bright, and if my audio is changing, it's because I'm moving my head all around, whereas I have a stationary microphone on the desk as I'm trying to peer at the monitor. But I don't think there was actually an abandoned mine shaft in there, and I'm still headed west, right? Yes. So in any case, minor changes to a bingo map can significantly alter the time it takes for kind of like the path of least resistance in order to get your first bingo. And so I was kind of wary of making changes. But finally, after I thought about it, no one had ever gotten... I originally had a cake on the map, and no one had ever gotten the cake in any of my playtesting, which suggested that it was one of the... I like to call them stoppers. The cookie is the other stopper on the map. Basically things that are very hard to get, very difficult, and people kind of pretty much prevent people from getting that particular row or column. All right, we're going to have to keep an eye out for any desert temples, because they could yield a lot of fruit. And by fruit, I mean name tags and saddles and diamonds and things of that nature. I've become Arnold Schwarzenegger all of a sudden, and things of that nature. Right. And so it's important to have some stoppers on the bingo card. Otherwise, I mean, most of these items are pretty easy to get, and I've seen some people complete the bingo map in like 12 minutes or really fast times if they happen to get lucky and get a good randomized card. And so you don't want to make anything too easy, and so it is useful to have some stoppers on the map. And so you've got some absolute stoppers. The cake was kind of gettable, but it was just a really pain in the neck to try to manage all the inventory items, and you needed an egg for it, which means you need to stand around with some chickens. All right, the desert I don't think the desert was going very far that way. We're going to continue heading to the west and look for the jungle and not worry about trying to find a pyramid. And then there's things like the saddle and the name tag, which are kind of like, I want to call them like half stoppers or something. There's actually a lot of structures in Minecraft. Villages, desert temples, jungle temples, abandoned mine shafts, dungeons, which allow you to get those items. And so I want to say in something like 1 in 5 to 1 in 10 of the playthroughs I've seen of the map, people have found one of those structures and been able to get some of those items. So they're rarer items, but they're still definitely gettable during normal gameplay, during a normal Minecraft bingo game. And so, yeah, those really have a profound effect on how fast the map plays. But after thinking about it, basically, I decided to swap out the cake for a flint. And so you can see I've got a flint at the top center of the map. That used to be a cake on the beta version of the map. The 2.0 beta version of the map that actually Kurt J. Mack and I recorded our videos with. Here's, we've got our first desert temple, and we have a village. All right, this is a happy desert. We are going to get some good things here. This will also be an opportunity. I'm about to run out of cooked food, and so this will be a great opportunity while I'm digging down into the desert temple to cook up the food. And in fact, I might cook it up in the furnaces that are over here. Let's go ahead. While we're here, I'm going to need to sleep in the bed again soon, I think, too. Because I think the sun's about to go down. Yeah, it's about to go down. So let's go ahead and just throw some... Ooh, do I not have any coal? Did I just put pork chops in the bottom of the furnace? Please ignore the fact that I just put pork chops in the bottom of the furnace and look like I've never played this game before. Aw, man. All right, well, that's some other food. And do I need any more boots? No, my boots are fine. All right, that was not too exciting. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll set down the bed. We'll sleep right here with our villager friends. That sounded wrong as well. Please ignore the things I'm saying. YouTube, commentary. Oh, my goodness. We're going to sleep right here. We'll be cooking some of these things up. I've actually got more furnaces on me, and I could cook even more up. Why don't I do that? So I'm going to have food for days. For days. And wood is very easy to come by, and so I don't mind getting more of that to have more stuff for smelting. And then we'll go to the desert pyramid, and we'll probably find some of the items that we need, and we'll move up from a score of 20 to a score of, I'm guessing we'll find 3 more items in that desert temple. That's my guess. That's the over-under. So place your bets now. All right, so we're going to sleep away this night. We're going to pick up the bed. We're going to hear villagers having a great time going in and out. And I really have too many different types of food items, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and take all these things. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. And I guess I'm taking these things back. All right, 21 pork chops. And I really kind of want the wood, and so let's throw out the leather that I don't need. Okay, great. So I changed the cake to a flint, and that is a big deal because basically it takes a row and a column, and possibly, if it happens to lie along a diagonal, and possibly also a diagonal, and changes them from basically impossible things that no one was getting to, I always like to take out the center block because then sunlight shines all the way down to the bottom of the thing, and so you don't have to worry about the lighting. Especially for YouTube, which tends to make things dark if you don't use torches. Let's go ahead and grab, not so much grab the TNT as destroy the TNT. I don't need the TNT for anything, but it might be fun to have to like celebrate at the end, and so just in case, let's actually try to pick up the TNT. Assuming we can get it in our inventory, there we go. All right, just for funsies. But let's see, bones! Ooh, bones, I have bones in my inventory and they have not lit up on the card. That is not a good thing. I actually have not seen that bug happen in a long, long time. Interesting, interesting. So I got an item. Here's a saddle. Okay, great. Let me actually think about what I'm doing here for a minute. All right, so we're going to get the saddle. There's one new item. I was going to get the diamond horse armor just in case I do end up getting a second saddle. Did I already go through all the chests? How sad. There's the other chest. Okay, great. So I was wrong about how many items I was going to get out of here because I only ended up getting one new item, the saddle. Man, this could take a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, even kind of coming into today. But I'm glad we finally found a desert temple. And I didn't even look to see if the village had... I don't know if villages can have 2 blacksmiths. I think it's possible. But I don't believe that village does. Since we are in a desert, and they could yield good things, we'll continue to kind of go across the desert a little bit here, but mostly head back to the west. So yeah, I changed the cake to a flint. And so basically that takes a row and a column and possibly a diagonal that previously no one would get, and then all of a sudden makes those very achievable by virtue of the fact that a flint is a very easy object to get. It's one of the easiest. I've seen people get it as their first object a few times. I think I might have even gotten it as my first object in this particular playthrough. And yeah, that actually significantly cut down on the time. And also, I forget about the fact a little bit. Like, most of the playtesting that I did was, me, and then my friend Berg. You guys know Bergasms, who also is a very accomplished Minecraft player and speedrunner. And I've played a number of speed challenges with him. And so I forget that not everyone is as practiced at speed challenges as I am. And so I think I was also underestimating the time difficulty of the map. And so definitely making it easier and faster was the correct thing to do. And so I made that change, and I think that was a very good change. I think the map is a whole lot better now as a result. I need coal, and so I will get rid of... Let's go ahead and do item repair on an iron pick. And in fact, let's go ahead and grab a little bit more coal in case I need it in the future for future cooking. I hope I don't. I hope that we find a jungle soon. Not gonna go caving. I was just using this as a cut through the mountain. Yee! And it appears that we've reached another ocean. Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe the land continues over here. Wow, look at these. What is the name of this biome again? Savannah M? I guess Savannah Mountain. Yeah, definitely some of the most awesome landscapes in all of Minecraft right now, in my opinion. All right. So, made that change to change the cake to a flint. The map plays a whole lot faster now for most folks. It opens up a whole lot of easier opportunities, and so it definitely brought the map kind of gameplay time back into the range that I was originally aiming for. And so I'm glad that Generic encouraged me to do that. Generic also pointed out another shortcoming of the map that I've seen a few people stumble upon, that it's just a minor thing, but I didn't come up with a good way to solve it. But basically, if you happen to die while you were playing Minecraft Bingo, it simply respawns you at your original starting point, because after it does the spread players, it sets the player's spawn point at that location. And so that's great. If you haven't traveled very far, you can go back to your corpse and pick up your items if you choose to do so. It gives you, anytime you're not holding any bingo cards, it gives you another set of bingo cards. And so you don't have to worry about the, not having your bingo cards, and it still keeps all of your progress on the map. And so that's not a problem. But when you're running back to your corpse, the way that we haven't updated the saddle. When you throw a map on the ground and it teleports you back so that it can update the map. Oh, there's my bones. Okay. It wasn't the case that it wasn't registering. It was just that I hadn't updated the map since I'd gotten the bones. All right, so that's great. What was I saying? Right. The way that the teleporter works is by detecting that there is a map on the ground within a range of about 5 blocks of the player. I, all of a sudden, am facing east. I got turned around there with the teleport. Let's not face east. Let's face west so that we don't start going in circles. That would be a bad thing. And so what that means is if you die and you're running back to your corpse to pick up your items, just before you arrive at your corpse, all of a sudden, one of the things in your pile of items that's lying on the ground will be maps. The game will detect that there are maps lying on the ground and teleport you to update the map. And you'll just be about to grab your items, and then all of a sudden you'll get teleported. You'll be like, wait, what? And then you get teleported back, and there might be, enemies right around, and you're trying to pick up all your items and fight the enemies, and all of a sudden you get this crazy teleport, which is very disorienting. And it's possible that in the interest of testing, perhaps, that Generic B possibly died multiple times and was running back to his corpse multiple times, and so ended up with multiple stacks of maps on the ground from each time he died that were then kind of re-teleporting him as he went back to his corpse. And so I've seen that affect a couple of people as they run back to their corpse. All of a sudden they get teleported and they don't realize why it's happening. That's the reason that it's happening. I didn't figure out any kind of good solution to that. But for the most part, what it means is when you go back to pick up your items, you're going to get one random teleport back to spawn because the map thinks that you're trying to update the bingo map, the bingo card, with a teleport, when in fact you were just going to pick back up your items and happen to be standing near a map that was on the ground. Yeah, and so it's a minor inconvenience. It doesn't really affect the gameplay too bad. It slows you down a tiny bit and is a little bit disorienting when you're trying to pick up your items. But I didn't know a good way to solve that, and yeah, but that is another, since I've been talking about kind of bugs and different aspects of the maps, that is another one that I was aware of that I only discovered very late in testing. Generic was my last play tester before I ended up releasing the map. And so, I need to eat some more food. And I think we've reached a point once again where I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. I do have one other thing I can talk about the map, but I think this might be a good place to make a cut. In my previous videos, was saying, oh, I'll do a little fast-forward montage or something like that. That was before I realized I've already been playing for 2 hours. And so when I finally went to go and edit that video, when I said, oh, now I'm going to do fast-forward, no, I did not fast-forward. I just made a cut, moved ahead to the next segment of interesting gameplay, and that's what I'm going to do from now on, because we've got 21 to 25 items. It could still be a while before we get to 25. So I'll make a cut. I'll see you guys when I see you.